Hello everyone, my name is Bagas Sugantoho. I'm from BIT. I'm from major BIT, and this day I want to presentation about my answer. So for the R31, for step one, listening process the statement that when IPv6 tunnel through IPv4 routers, IPv6 treats the IPv tunnels as link layer protocol refers to the concept or IPv6 over IPv tunneling. It is mechanism used to enable IPv6 traffic to travel over IPv4 networks by encapsulating IPv6 packet within IPv4 packets. The critical aspect here is understanding how IPv6 interact with IPv4. Thank you for your attention. See you next time.
Hello, my name is Muhammad Daniel Hadianto. Today I will present my answer. The first section R32. How does generalized forwarding differ from destination based forwarding? Step 1, reasoning process. The distinction between generalized forwarding and destination based forwarding revolves around how packets are routed to a network. These forwarding methods take different approaches to making routing decisions, and understanding these approaches helps in grasping how traffic is managed across network. Step 2. Theory behind forwarding types. First, destination-based forwarding. This is the traditional method of forwarding packets typically associated with classical IP routing. In destination-based forwarding, make for a forwarding decision based solely on the destination IP address of the incoming package router. Use a routing table that maps destination addresses to specific next hop addresses or output interface. When a packet arrives at a router, the router checks the destination IP address and forwards it according to the table entry. To generalized forwarding in contract is more flexible and allow forwarding decision to be made based on multiple parameters. This can include not only the destination address but also the source address, protocol type, port numbers, or even more complex information like QoS, quality of service, markings, or specific fields in the package header. Generalized forwarding is a broader concept and is a key feature of software-defined networking and OpenFlow, which allows for flexible fine-grained traffic management. Step 3. Critical logical thinking and argumentation. Destination-based forwarding is limited in flexibility because it only considers the destination address for forwarding. This makes it simple and efficient but not adaptable to complex network policies of traffic flow. Generalized forwarding, on the other hand, allows for multiple matching criteria beyond just the destination address, making it suitable for advanced networking management. It can match against several fields in the package and can make decisions based on any of criteria, which is especially useful for SDN environment where network behavior can be dynamically adjusted. Comparison. Destination-based forwarding is more straightforward with a single match. Generalized forwarding involves multiple matching criteria allowing for more detailed and customizable packet forwarding. Step 4. Conclusion. In conclusion, destination-based forwarding is a traditional and straightforward method that focuses only on the destination address, making it simple but less adaptable. Generalized forwarding is more flexible and allows decision based on multiple packet fields, which is especially useful in dynamic and programmable network such as SDN. The key difference lies in the level of flexibility and control over how packets are forwarded based on various attributes. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Zafiras Fernando Sonojoyo.
I will answer the question R33. What is difference between forwarding table that we encountered in destination based forwarding in section 4.1 and open flow open flows flow table that we encountered in section 4.4? The answer is, let's break let's break down both destination based forwarding in section 4.1 and the concept of open flow in section 4.4 in order to draw out the key difference between the two types of forwarding tables. 1. Destination based forwarding, section 4.1. The forwarding table used in the destination-based forwarding contain mapping of destination IP address to the appropriate outgoing link. This is based on the principle of moving packet from the sender to receiver by finding the best next hop based on the packet destination. Routers utilize the destination IP address in the packet header to look up the correct output port in the forwarding table, which directly determines where the packet should be sent next. This approach is very straightforward and operates primarily within within the network layer. The forwarding decision is based purely on the destination information found in the packet header, and the forwarding table is populated by routing protocols. 2. OpenFlow and Match Plus Action, section 4.4. OpenFlow in the context of the generalized forwarding extend the idea of match plus action forwarding. This involves not only looking at the destination address, but also any field in the packet header, such as the source address, protocol type, port numbers, thread address, H. In the OpenFlow, each packet switch, essential packet forwarding device like router or switch, has a flow table which is computed and updated by a remote control. OpenFlow's flow table use a match plus action paradigm. Each entry specifies header file value that need to match in the incoming packet, and action sorry an action is taken when the match occurs. The action could involve forwarding the packet, dropping it, modifying the packet header, or sending it to the control for the further processing. This flow table approach is much more flexible and general than the destination-based forwarding found in section 4.1. It allows for fine-grained control over packet processing at multiple layer, not just the network layer. It can include transport layer or even link layer information. Moreover, the flow table are distributed and dynamically updated by a remote control, which provide a centralized form of management theory and strong argument. Forwarding table
in the destination-based forwarding section 4.1. The forwarding table use destination-based forwarding is static, highly dependent on the destination IP address of the incoming packet. The router the tab use this table to route packet toward the text hop based on the packet destination address, relying heavily on the routing protocols to determine the next hop address. This forwarding table is the is fixed and populate primary talk routing algorithm. The role of the forwarding table here is very limited and operates within the network layer, is designed only to handle simple, straightforward tasks of the forwarding packet to the next hop based on destination information. 2. Forwarding in OpenFlow section 4.4. The OpenFlow table, on the other hand, is a much more generalized forwarding mechanism. It's instead of relying solely on destination IP address, it uses match plus action, allowing for a much broader set of packaging field to dictate how packet should be handled. Each match rule in the flow table is paired with action with determines what the forwarding device, such as a switch, should do with the match packet. The action can involve forwarding, modifying, or dropping packet, and they are dynamic because the flow table entries can be modified by remote control. OpenFlow flexibility allows the creation of complex network behavior such as load balancing, firewall rule, and other advanced advanced network service which go far beyond the simple destination-based forwarding seen in section 4.1. Generalized forwarding destination based generalized for number 3, generalized forwarding versus destination based forwarding. Destination based forwarding section 4.1, simple and less flexible. It focuses only on the destination IP address using a forwarding table that maps this address to the appropriate outgoing link. In contrast, OpenFlow allow for multi-layer matching, e.g. network layer, example, network layer, transport layer, and link layer, enabling complex behavior such as firewalling, loading balancing, or net seen in the example in section 4.4. OpenFlow's match plus action mechanism is much more adaptable to need modern modern network needs like software def, definite networking SDN, where this forwarding dedication are centrally controlled and update dynamical. Conclusion: the key difference between the forwarding table in the sorry the key difference between the forwarding table in destination based forwarding section 4.1 and OpenFlow table section 4.4 lies in their flexibility and scope. Number 1, destination based forwarding forwarding the forwarding table is statistic and based solely on destination IP address. It used for basic packet forwarding from from the sender to the receiver along a predetermined route, primarily operating within the network layer. The forwarding behavior is simply and directive without the ability to handle complex network tasks like load balancing or firewalling. Number two, the flow table is part of the match plus action paradigm, allowing multiple header fields to be matched, not just the destination address. This enables more sophisticated network behavior. The remote control dynamical update the flow table, providing a flexible and central approach to network management. This part of the SDN architecture separate separates the control plane from the data plane. Open flows open flow table support complex network function. Example, firewall, load balancing, and are much more dynamic than destination-based forwarding table. In the summary, while destination-based forwarding is simple and statistic, OpenFlow introduced a highly flexible and programmable model for forwarding decision that can be used implement a wide range of network behavior. Thank you. See you.
So the questions for R34 is what is meant by the match plus action operation of a router or switch. Also, in the case of destination-based forwarding packet switch, what is match and what is the action taken? In the case of an SDN, name 3 fields that can be matched and 3 action that can be taken. So the first thing we need to know is the theory behind match and action. Like match plus action, and those was called is destination-based forwarding. So match plus action is basically in routers or switches, the match part involves inspecting specific fields within the incoming packet. Example like source IP address, destination IP address, or protocol type. Once a match is found, the action defines how the packet will be treated, such as forwarding it to a specific port, or dropping the packet or modifying the packet. In SDN, this match and action mechanism is even more flexible as network behavior can be dynamically controlled via a central controller. Since destination-based forwarding, matching is done primarily on the destination IP address, and the action is typically to forward the packet to appropriate next hop router or output interface according to the routing table. So the argumentation that I will call once again is why is match plus action important? The match plus action operation is crucial because it enables high degree of flexibility and control over how traffic flows through the network. Instead of relying on fixed routing tables or simple packet forwarding, the match action paradigm allows devices to perform complex decision making based on a variety of packet attributes. This is essential for implementing advanced network policies, security measures, and traffic management. So the next, I will call it the argument is SDN and match action. In SDN, centralized controllers can be dynamically modify the match action rules on switches, allowing for real-time adjustment in traffic forwarding. This dynamic flexibility is not present in traditional networks, where routing decisions are more static and less adaptable. In SDN, fields to match and action is like fields to match. There are 3. First one is source for source IP address. The second is for destination IP address. The third one is for transport layer protocol. Example like TCP or UDP. And the action fields to action is the first one is forwarding the packet to a specific port. The second one is modifying the packet. Example like changing the TTL. The third one is dropping the packet, like to prevent malicious traffic. And the conclusion is in the match plus action operation, routers and switches first match certain packets fields and then perform actions such as forwarding, modifying, or dropping the packet. In destination-based forwarding, the primary match is the destination address, and the action is forwarding the packet. In SDN, a wide variety of fields can be matched, example like IP address or protocols, and several actions that can be taken, including forwarding, modifying, and dropping the packet. This flexibility is what makes SDN particularly powerful.
Okay guys, good evening. First of all, my name is Raffi Amza Priyatna and I'm from group 1. I want to read the text about number 35. The first, step 1, reasoning process. OpenFlow. As a part of SDN, allows switch to perform generalized forwarding based on packet header fields. The matching mechanism is central to flexibility of OpenFlow and enables switch to make forwarding decisions based on specific parts of the packet header. Step 2, theory behind OpenFlow matching. Matching fields in OpenFlow. OpenFlow enables the matching of various fields in the IP datagram header. These fields allow a switch to examine incoming packets and apply specific rules or policies, such as forwarding, modification, or filtering based on the field values. Fields that can be matched in OpenFlow 1.0, 1.01. The following IP header fields can be matched. First, source IP address. This field can be matched to perform traffic control based on the origin of the packet. Number 2, destination IP address. This field is critical for routing decision and can be matched to determine where to forward the packet. Number 3, protocol type. The protocol field, such as TCP, UDP, and ICMP, can be matched to differentiate traffic types and apply specific action based on the type of protocol. Step 3, critical logical thinking and argumentation. Field that cannot be matched in OpenFlow. Number 1, TTL or time to live. OpenFlow 1.0 doesn't allow matching on the TTL field directly. This field is generally used for hop count limiting to prevent packet from circulating infinitely. TTL is more of an to prevent packet from internal control mechanism rather than a field used for routing or forwarding decision in OpenFlow. Number 3, fragmentation flags and offset. OpenFlow 1.0 doesn't provide direct support for matching on packet fragmentation fields like the fragment offset and more fragments flag. These fields are specific to fragment packet and are typically handled by upper layer protocol, not directly in forwarding tables. Number 3, checksum fields. The IP checksum fields is not available for matching. This is field used for error checking and is typically handled by device in the data path for integrity checks, not for making forwarding decision. And the last number is step 4, or conclusion. In OpenFlow 1.10, switches can match on key fields such as the source IP, destination IP, and protocol types, which are essential for making forwarding and routing decision. However, certain fields like TTL, fragmentation flags, and checksums are not matched in OpenFlow because they are either used for internal packet handling, or for error checking, which is not relevant to the matching forwarding decision process. Thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Arya Putra Nurragam. 335. Step 1. Racing process. OpenFlow as a part of SDN allows switch to perform general forwards based on packet header files. The matching mechanism is central to the flexibility of OpenFlow and enables switch to make forwarding decisions based on specific parts of the packet header. Step 2. Theory behind OpenFlow matching. Match field in the OpenFlow. OpenFlow enables the matching of various fields in the IP datagram headers. The field allow a switch to extend incoming packets and apply specific rules or policies, such as forwarding, modification, or filtering based on the file values. File that can be matched in OpenFlow 1.0. The following IP header field can be matched. 1. Source IP address. This field can be matched to perform traffic control based on the origin of the packet. 2. Destination IP address. This file is critical for routing destinations and can be matched to determine where to forward the packet. 3. Protocol type. The protocol fields can be matched to different traffic type and apply specific exception based on the type of protocol. Step 3. Critical logical thinking and argumentation. Files that cannot be matched in OpenFlow. 1. TTL. OpenFlow don't allow matching on the TTL file directory. This file is generally used for hop limiting the prevent packet from circulating indefinitely. TTL is more of an internal control mechanism rather than a file used for routing or forwarding decisions in OpenFlow. 2. Fragmentation flags and offs. OpenFlow does the provide there is support for matching on packet fragmentation flags, the fragment offset, and more fragment flags. Thus, files are specific to fragmented packet and are typically handled by upper layer protocol, not erased in forwarding table. 3. Checksum file. The IP checksum file is not available for matching. This is a file used for error checking and is typically handled by device in the data path for integrity checks, not for making forwarding decisions. Step 4. Conclusion. In OpenFlow, switch can match on key files such as the source IP, destination IP, and protocol IP, which are essential for making forwarding and routing decisions. However, certain files like TTL, fragmentation flags, and checksums are not matched in OpenFlow because they are either used for internal packet handling or for error checking, which is not relevant to the matching and forwarding decision process. Thank you.